Welcome back. So, this is actually my second attempt recording this session. I had some file corruption happen during
We
processing.
cannot proceed without General Drokkendutt.
So we will be collecting Drokkendutt again for a second time. I guess it's an advantage to not doing the whole blind, is that this doesn't actually change too much, although these will be fresh in my mind, and this is probably just going to be a really short episode now.
This way to General Drokkendutt's fortress.
Yeah, so to the western bank, and in we go. Drokkendutt's fortress. General Drokkendutt was well renowned as Rasaran's leading military strategist, and his good looks were known across the land. He was also one of the land's greatest inventors and innovators, and utilized the latest in modern defensive technology. As such, he was one of the first to use tunnels and pressure plates. So, two new elements here. Actually, we can already see them at work here. We've got the tunnels here, although these ones aren't really accessible. There's a pressure plate here. Hold down the pressure plate, you can click on it like an orb, and it'll show you what doors it affects. Likewise, click on the door, it'll show you what plates affect it. So the pressure plate is just, well, not just an alternative to the orb, it's a much more interesting element, in my opinion.
Drokkendutt had installed a series of underground tunnels, allowing him to get from room to room quickly.
Okay. These take one move, so you can click on a tunnel, it'll show you where it'll exit. Now, tunnels only go in the direction that they're facing, so you get used to the graphics. You can tell without clicking. It takes one turn to take a tunnel, so it'll allow you to gain a lot of distance on monsters quickly. Okay, one other thing I'm going to demonstrate here. You can see this roach cannot step onto this tunnel. Roaches and other monsters cannot move onto tunnels unless they are making a killing move. So if I were to go through the tunnel like this, then I get eaten. So this is a situation you have to watch out for. When you have a monster right up against the tunnel, you need to make sure your sword is facing the right way before you go through. Not too bad. And this is our obligatory pressure plate tutorial room. Gunthro, help us out.
Gunthro understood that just like orbs, pressure plates could open, close, and toggle doors.
Everyone knows that.
Right, so if I clicked on this first, you can see it opens all these doors. It also turns on these lights. This one, which I'm going to do next, is going to close that door and turn off that light. There we go. And that leaves us two more. Here, we have, okay, so toggles, the orange. It's going to turn on and off the light and open and close the doors. Some points about timing. So I make a move, and then all the monsters in the room make a move. So when I step onto this pressure plate, I hold it down, the door opens, and the roach then gets to have its turn and can move onto the open door. Now, it's worth pointing out...
The toggle effect worked whenever Drokkendutt's plates were stepped onto or off of.
I think you're just trying to confuse us.
Well, see how... What gets confusing about this is that the pressure plate has a different timing for being stepped onto and being stepped off of. So stepping onto the pressure plate will toggle it immediately. You can see, right now this door is open. If I step onto the plate, it will close. The roach will not be able to move there. Right?
The toggle effect worked whenever
So undo. However, if I wait, you can move there, it's fine. So now, the same situation, only with me on the plate. If I step off of the plate, then...
My name is Gunthro.
Ah, yes, I haven't done that yet. Step off of the plate, this door will close. However, the roach moves onto the door. So, what's going on here? When you step onto a plate, or when any monster steps onto a plate, it triggers immediately on that actor's turn. When you step off of the plate, the plate remains in a depressed, down position until the end of everybody's turn. This doesn't really matter so much for these little plates here, although, as you can see, it does have some effect with the doors here. But this is much more important for larger pressure plates. Like if this is a pressure plate that filled this entire room, then I'd be able to step off of it the same turn that the roach steps onto it, and the pressure plate wouldn't toggle at all. It would remain in the down position. So it gets a lot more interesting with bigger puzzles later. But that's enough of that. So this, oh, you can't click on lights to see what turns them on. Interesting. So this will open that, but it will toggle these, including this light being toggled. No big deal. Okay, here. The tunnels do not link directly back. They in fact kind of go in this loop around here this way. So this is a one-way loop. I have to go in this direction. Tunnels don't necessarily have to lead to tunnels that go back to them, or to tunnels that go anywhere. So if this tunnel was facing south, for example, I could take this tunnel to go here, but then from here this tunnel wouldn't go anywhere and I would just be stuck in this area. So tunnels can be used that way. So this is just a matter of guiding a roach out of a spiral. Right. Wait for him to get around there. Wait for him to get around there. And all the way down there. Vertical preference means I can go now. And up. And let's just wait until you're... There we go. Now let me get through there. And that'll do it. And then from here, let's see, I have to be standing on that pressure plate in order to get the roach. Here. So I've got two pressure plates here. This toggles that door, this toggles that door. I cannot get into this part of the room until I get the roach to stand here. So this is where pressure plates become a lot more interesting than orbs, in that all the monsters, well, most of the monsters, can affect the pressure plates. It's actually, I was going to say that's something that's unique to pressure plates over orbs, but you've already seen me manipulate guards into hitting orbs with their swords. That's kind of, again, why I'm surprised the guards came in so early, because they're kind of an exception to a lot of the regular rules of DROD. But anyway, the pressure plates here can be held down by roaches, or guards, or anything else. And from there I can get through. Oops, right, vertical preference. Needed to wait an extra turn there. Raising a door on a monster doesn't really have any effect on it. This roach would be trapped if it was trying to move back into this room. It wouldn't be able to move onto either of those squares because they're up. But having it just resting here, it's fine. If I wait or move, it'll be able to step off of the wall because it's moving into a non-blocked space. So being on a blocked space is fine. It just looks at where it's trying to move. There we go. Challenge school. Don't use the tunnels. Okay. So obviously the easy way to do this room is up here, release the roaches. Use the tunnel to get away from them, and then just fight them all from one direction. However, so I kind of cheesed this on the first playthrough, and I'm going to see if I can... I'm going to give it a few attempts without doing that, and then we'll see where we end up. Oh. That is terrible. Terrible, terrible. Okay, well I ended up cheesing it again. Okay, so the roach steps off of the pressure plate while I'm on the door. I am now on the door. The door is a blocked space. The roaches can't get me, so I'm actually completely safe here. And I can just do this. Yeah, out in the open, not so much. Right, no Steam notification because this is the second recording. The first time through I actually missed this. I ended up doing a second circuit. Here. and I missed these secrets. Out of all the tile sets in the game, this is the one where the secret walls are the hardest for me to see. But there are, in fact, there is in fact a passage through there. Okay. So this room, I have this pressure plate, which toggles that, this pressure plate, which toggles both of these. So first step, get this roach over to here. From here, this roach has to come around. No problem. And then I release the roaches. However, with this roach being here, there's no way that this roach is actually going to be getting out of there while I'm standing on this. I mean, my choices basically are I can have the roach here, or I can manipulate the roach up to here when I'm standing on this this space. In either case, the roach doesn't get out. Which means I can't actually get to that roach unless I have this roach occupy here. So I can't kill this roach yet. This is a very, very simple example of this, but something to keep in mind with a lot of monsters in DROD is that you don't necessarily need to kill them right away. In fact, in a lot of the more tricky rooms, they will be required to not do the obvious thing and just kill the monster, but instead somehow struggle to keep the monster alive and manipulate it through a bunch of places for you. So this is easy enough. Put the roach in there, go up here, and clear. Another challenge. It's been good to us. Oops. Don't turn your sword after stepping on the pressure plate. Something else that I forgot to mention with the two previous don't turn the sword puzzles that I did, or something that I wanted to mention more explicitly. If you want to turn your sword orientation before starting the puzzle, you need to actually leave the room and re-enter it in order for the challenge to be recorded correctly. Here it doesn't seem to matter because I'll just do that a bunch of times. It had the restriction after the pressure plate, so it shouldn't be checking what I'm doing now. Let's just test that. So this should be fine. And yeah, this is just going to be a matter of doing that a bunch of times. Something interesting to point out here. See that only one of these roaches moved towards me, not all of them? This is a turn order effect here. This is roach 6, roach 5, roach 4. So 4 tries to move first, it's blocked by roach 5, so it doesn't move, its turn ends. Roach 5 tries to move, it's blocked by roach 6, its turn ends. Roach 6 has a free space, it can now move forward. So if these roaches were instead 4, 5, and 6, 4, 5, 6, they would all move forward one square. So the ordering of the roaches actually does matter, and it makes this a lot easier. And so if you look down here, yeah, 3, 2, 1, it's the same thing. 1 is stuck, 2 is stuck, 3 then moves. A little bit fancy. Back swipery. Yes, the back swipe maneuver is very handy. And indeed, it did only start checking my sword orientation after first stepping on that pressure plate. And we're done. Almost. I did catch this one right away. However, this room I actually spent 5 minutes being an idiot, so I will spare you that, I guess. Basically, the gimmick here, this roach needs to be on this pressure plate to open this door. If I just go in, sure, easy, but now I can't get out. So I was running all over the place, trying to get this roach to do something. I realized fairly quickly that there wasn't anything I could do on the outside. I'm sure I can get you to trigger that, but then you step off of it right away. From here, there's not really a whole lot I can do. I mean, I can put you back in there, but what good does that do anybody? Oops. Let's just reset. Oh, let's just... yeah, whatever. Reset a bunch of times just to lower my turn count for no reason, because I'm not competing for that, so I don't know why I bothered. So then I realized, okay, I can go in here, and I can try to get the roach to get stuck. I was trying to get the roach stuck behind here. See, if I was here, I could step here and the roach would be stuck there. Then I could, go all the way out here and get the roach around, whatever. I did realize that these two diagonals here, this is the one I want. I want the roach to be here, coming towards me this way, while I am standing on the door. But I can run around here all I want. Roach doesn't get any further away from me. Finally, I realized that I could just do this, and the timing would work out nicely. Do that, step on it before it closes, I'm now safe. Smite the roach. My dear General, the time for action draws near. We must take the offensive. Priority number 1 is clearing Smuggler's Maze, then we must advance on Tweno itself. We must aim for the heart. After Englos, the rest will fall. We trust you will do what is needed. Alright. See the skull. And here, oops, is Drokkendutt.
General Drokkendutt, it's an honor to meet you. The Twainans have declared war. Without your gift for strategy, we are lost.
Understood. Go, and I shall meet you at the pass to Smuggler's Maze.
Since I have the opportunity here, I'm also just going to show... See, this is a tunnel that goes nowhere. You still got the sound and... Turn counter increases, but it doesn't actually take you anywhere. And right, that one-way passage through there. Also didn't show this. You can kill the guards if you really want to. There's not really any point to it. And that is Drokkendutt rescued.
I'm glad you enlisted General Drokkendutt. We'd be lost without him.
Alright. So hopefully there won't be any more technical issues. I'm pretty sure I know what I did that messed up my file. The file actually recorded fine, and then it was in editing that I screwed it up, so I think I can avoid that. And back to the Smuggler's Maze. Here we go. General Drokkendutt has joined. And it looks like maybe 2 more for symmetry? Maybe 2 more for symmetry. Next time...
I do not see Marin Comwind. Shirking duty again? He must be found.
Somebody who doesn't want to run off to war? Well, we'll have to hunt him down and... make him participate, I guess. I don't know, personally I wouldn't want a soldier that was... not wanting to participate to be the one defending my land, but, you know, it is what it is. So Marin Coleman up next.